Mountains. A mountain is an any natural elevation of the earth's surface. The mountain may be have a small summit and a broad base. It is considerably higher than the surrounding area. Some mountains are even higher than the clouds. As you go to the higher, the climate becomes colder. In some places, there are a permanently frozen rivers of ice. They are called glaciers. There are some mountains you cannot see as they under the sea. Because of the harsh climate, less people live in the mountain area. Since the slope are steep, less land available for farming. Mountains are arranged in a line known as range. Many mountain systems consist of a series of parallel ranges extending over hundreds of kilometers. The Himalayas, the Alps, and the Andes are mountains ranges of Asia, Europe, and South Africa, respectively. Mountains vary their heights and shape. There are three types of mountains: pole mountains, block mountains, and volcanic mountains. The mountains, Himalayan mountains or the Alps or young fold mountains or roughed relief and a high conical peak. The Aravalli range in India is one of the oldest mountain system in the world. The range has considerably worn down due to the process of erosion. The Appalachians in North America and the Ural Mountains in Russia have rounded features and low elevation. They are very old fold mountains. Block mountains are created when the large area are broken and displaced vertically. The uplifted blocks are known as horst, and the lowered blocks are called garben. The Rhine Valley and the Vosges Mountains in the Europe are the examples of such mountain system. Locate them on the map, world map in the atlas, and find out some of the more examples in this type of landforms. Volcanic mountains are formed due to the volcanic activity. Kilimanjaro in Africa, and mountain Fujiyama in Japan are examples of such mountains. Mountains are very useful. The mountains are storehouses of water. Many rivers there have their sources in the glaciers in the mountain. Reservoirs are made and the water is harnessed for the use of people. Water from the mountains also used for irrigation, generation of electricity, hydroelectricity, the river valley, and the traces or ideas of a cultivation of crops. Mountains have a rich variety of flora and fauna. The forests provide fuel, fodder, shelter, and other products like gums, resins. Mountain provide an idyllic site for the tourist. They visit mountains for scenic beauty. Several sports like para gliding, hang gliding, river crafting, and skiing are the popular in mountains. Can you name some of the places in the Himalayas associated with these sports? Plateaus. Plateaus is an elevated flat land, and it is a flat topped tableland standing above the surrounding area. The plateau may have one or more sides with steep slopes. The height of the plateaus often varies from a few hundred meters to several thousand meters. Plateaus, like mountains, may be young or old. The Deccan Plateau in India is the oldest plateau. The East African Plateau in Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, and the Western Plateau of Australia or other examples. The Tibet Plateau is the highest plateau in the world with a height of 4,000 to 6,000 meters above the sea level. Plateaus are very useful because they are rich in mineral deposits. As a result, many of the mining areas in the world are located in the plateau areas. The African plateau is famous for gold and diamond mining. In India, huge reserves of iron, coal, manganese are found in Chota Nagpur Plateau. In the plateau areas, there are several waterfalls as the rivers falls from the greater height in India. The Hundru waterfall, Hundru waterfalls in the Chota Nagpur Plateau on the river Subarnarekha, and Jog Falls in Karnataka are the examples of such walls. The lava plateaus are rich in black soil and are fertile and good for cultivation. Many plateaus are scenic spots and are great attraction for the tourist. Plains are a large stretch of flat lands. They are generally not only 200 meters above the sea level, but some plains are extremely level. Other might be slightly rolling and undulating. Most of the plains are formed by the rivers and their tributaries. The rivers flow down to the slope of the mountains and erode them. They carry forward the eroded material. Then they deposit their load consisting of stones, stand and slit along through their courses and their valleys. It is from these deposits that plains are formed. Generally, plains are very fertile. Construction of a transport network is easy. Thus, these plains are very thick populated region of the world. Some of the largest plains made by the river are found in Asia and North America. For example, in Asia, these plains are formed by the Ganga and Brahmaputra in India and the Yangtze in China. Plains are most useful for human habitation. There is a great concentration of people as more flat land is available for building houses as well as cultivation. Because of the fertile soil, the land is highly productive for cultivation in India too. The Indo-Gangetic plains are a most densely populated region of the country. Landforms and the people. Humans have been living on different kinds of land forms in different ways. Life is difficulty in the mountainous areas. Plains must provide much better condition. It is easy to grow, build a house or a plot in a plain than a mountain. Can you point out some differences in the way people live on the different kinds of landforms? Sometimes natural calamities such as earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, storms, and the floods or cause widespread destruction, huge loss of life and property take place. By creative awareness about such incidences, we may lower the risk. You may find out from your own surroundings in how many ways we use the land and water. Quite often we use the land in the wasteful manner. For example, constructing houses on the fertile land. Similarly, we threw garbage on the land, on the water, making them dirty. We should avoid using that important gifts of the nature in a careless manner. The available land is not only for our use, it is our duty to leave the land a better place for a future generation as well. So the work bits. The mountain differ from hills in terms of elevation. Glaciers are found in mountains. The Deccan Plateau is located in India. It is the oldest one. The river Yangtze flows in China. An important mountain range in Europe is the Alps. A plain is an unbroken flat or a low-level land. The Himalayas and the Alps are folds of examples of folds. They are the mountain. The plateau is rich in mineral deposits. The range is a line of mountains. Plain areas are most productive for farming.